I met Barb about close to 4 years ago, and she came to our Monday life group meeting with another individual that has been going with our group.
When I first met Barb, it was when my men's group went to help her clean out her garage, and she was wheeled out by her caretaker in her wheelchair, and I could tell that she had had a stroke. She couldn't use half of her body at that time. She was very frustrated with her lot, how she had had this stroke, and now saw that she couldn't do the things she had planned on doing.
I was very concerned because I just had to learn to rewalk.
So remember that first day that we met when I came to your house with all the men? What was your initial reaction when all these men came to help you clean out your garage?
I was in awe, actually. I couldn't believe that anybody could help me so much.
She sat there in her garage, and we took everything out of her garage and brought it all back in, one box at a time, and she looked through her things and told us whether she wanted to donate it or trash it or keep it. And you could just sense the fact that she was seeing her circumstance, and the fact that she had to give up things, knowing she couldn't keep these things, and just she was going through that process of this new place that she was in life and having to let go of some things.
It was very hard. I've had a hard time with this whole situation, but I've had a hard time letting go of, everything at first because I didn't know how I was going to end up.
She also made us aware that she needed new sinks throughout her bathrooms. Because of her condition and the weakness in her hands, she wasn't able to turn the knobs of the sinks in her bathroom vanities. And through Crossroads Cares, we were able to post that need and get an individual with plumbing skills into her house, and the church body provided the finances for these new faucets, and we were able to bless her with a whole new set of faucets for all of her bathroom sinks. Barb has 3 cats who she loves dearly. They are her friends and family and her kids, and their names are Hazel, Gus, and Kieran. And every time I would go to her house, she'd have at least 2 of those on her bed. The third one was always in hiding. But she loved her cats, and it became clear after going to her house several times, she was having a really hard time taking care of the cats daily, changing their litter box and feeding them. At one point, I saw her make her way through the kitchen and was out of breath by the time she got to their food bowls. And so I thought there would be a good way for us to meet that need through Crossroads Cares. And we assembled a team through Crossroads Cares of individuals that went to her house every single day to feed the cats, brush the cats, talk to the cats, change their litter, and then also spend time with Barb, seeing what things she needed, or just having some nice conversations with her just to brighten her day. And every day we were able to do that for 82 consecutive days.
And I've been in Barb's position with cancer, so I could really relate to that, and it hit my heart, and I think God was really talking to me. And so I signed up and went to visit Barb, and we hit it off. She's become a really good friend of mine too. I visit her when I can. And I love her cats. She had to sell her house, which happened very quickly, and then we found a place for all 3 of her cats in one home, which really is great, but she misses them terribly. Go visit her and show her pictures of my cat, and I make her laugh, and she's a wonderful person. Crossroads Cares really is a fabulous project we have here, and it really helps her a lot. And once we got her all settled in a really good care facility, we can't abandon her now because I've become friends with her, and she loves to have visitors, even if it's only for 10 minutes at a time.
The cat care team was doing an awesome job going over and helping with the cats, but one of the things they noticed was there's a lot of cat hair building up. And so the obvious answer is, well, hey, can we vacuum every other day or so to help out? And it got back to me that they didn't have a vacuum. And so I said, well, we need to take care of that. And so we put it out in $50 increments, and man, everyone just jumped in. We had that thing paid for in a matter of hours.
Barb's story, it started out small with just a few individuals that she met through her life group. And then it grew into me and my men's group. And then it expanded to Crossroads Cares, and we were able to bring in individuals with special skills to meet the needs that Barb had, including the cat care team. And then it grew and grew from there, and eventually it touched the lives of 2 women who were single moms with their 3 boys each, and and we're able to be generous through Barb's generosity to other individuals.
I've been lucky enough to stay in my home until this time, and I would love for other people to have things that were mine, that were loved, and I'd rather that they went to a loved place than to go anywhere else.
So about the time that all these amazing volunteers were cleaning out Barb's house, we had two very similar, strangely similar share needs that came in. They were both from two moms, both mothers of 3 boys each. Both worked in education in the realm of special needs, and one of these mothers had even just recently been through a house fire and had lost everything. But the strangest thing that they had in common, and the most God thing that they had in common, was that both were escaping abusive marriages. Both were looking to leave and to make a new home, a safe place for their kids. And what was so cool and what was so amazing about God's provision and timing is that they were able to go into Barb's house, her welcoming them in, and they could pick anything that they needed. They needed household items like pots and pans and dishes and towels and just everyday items, and to go out and repurchase these things would have been a massive expense. But both got to come through Barb's home and pick out whatever they wanted. There was one moment when one of the women, she saw something, and I couldn't tell what she was looking at, and she goes, "I can have anything, right?" And I said, "Yeah." Barb wants you to take whatever you would like. And she picked up this cross, this little tattered white cross with a verse from Isaiah on it. And she said, "I lost my mom's cross in the fire, and it would really mean a lot to me if I could have this cross." And for the rest of the time, as she was looking through the house and picking out things, she held onto that cross. And God is so good and so faithful in the way that he used Barb and used the belongings in her house, stuff she had acquired throughout her entire life, to minister to someone else and to really set up the next chapter of someone's healing journey and story. And the other mom, when she submitted her need to Crossroads Cares, she specifically requested a dining room table. She had found that as her and her boys were in their new home, they didn't have one, and it was weighing on her sons. And she didn't realize the importance of what a dining room table would be. And she was able to come to Barb's house and pick out the dining room table, and it's this beautiful long wooden table with 6 chairs, and she was just so excited to have it. She actually sent me a text, and I want to read it. She said, "They were so excited to see the table. My middle son says it's the only place he wants to sit in the house. I didn't even realize how much having a dining table means to them. It's a part of our daily routine." And she says, "God is so good."
And to tell you the truth, it feels good. I mean, that's altruistic and everything, but it does feel good to be able to help people. And I would do it again.
So if it hadn't been for the church, what do you think that whole situation would have looked like? What would you have done?
It would have been a nightmare, actually. I had no idea where I was going, what was going to happen to me, and Crossroads, with all of their care, made that journey available to me, that I'm in a good place now.
One of my big takeaways has to do with the things that she had, a house full of things. And when it got to the end, none of those things really mattered anymore. They were able to be a blessing to other people. But I saw that the things that really mattered in Barb's story were the people, and it were the relationships that she was able to build, and the relationships that we were able to provide her through Crossroads Cares, and all the encouragement and the love. And when it all came down to it, those are the only things that really mattered. And now Barb has none of those things in her house anymore, but she still has all the relationships, and she still knows that she's loved by God. She knows that Jesus Christ is her hope in this life, and that the church will rally around and support anybody.
I just want to thank everybody that gave of all of their time and their help to me. Without it, things just would not be the same. It's just amazing, that they were there. and especially to help me find the group home.